Hey everyone, this is Amy with Simply Elizabeth Crafts, and the Monday Facebook Live, not really live, but the video that I had posted on Monday showed some cute Easter cards. So what I wanted to do was this weekend bring you some more religious Easter cards, and I used let me find it in my stack over here, the Gift of Hope. I love this stamp set because of this one sentiment, he lives. Oh, I love it. And then I did really like the church as well. But I've got two projects for you today that will feature using that stamp set. First though, I wanted to talk to you about the Simply Creative Monthly Club. This club is $39 a month, and in your $39, it includes the shipping. It also includes at least $20 in products, a video tutorial, and then the PDF as well. You have to subscribe by the 15th of each month. So if you're interested in this, please let me know and I will send you the registration link. The other thing I wanted to tell you just really quick is the Columbia Creative class. We're using the Flowering Cactus stamp set and bundle paper, all that fun stuff with it. So if you're interested, this class is $15 or free with a purchase. And I will put the kits together and mail them directly to you once you either purchase or pay the $15. So if you're interested in that, let me know and I can send you the PayPal link or send you the order link. I think that is it. Not much. Oh, don't forget that the annual catalog is retiring and there are some really good deals on the retiring products. So in the link to this video, there will be, or in the description of this video, there will be a link in order for you to go to the online store. So don't miss out on some great deals. And if you will hold on 2 seconds, I'm going to adjust my camera because it looks a little crooked from where I'm at. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our project. So again, we're using the Gift of Hope. And this is going to be our first card. I really like this one. In our catalog, they actually stamped the church and then he lives. And I kind of took that little circle, the card that they had, and I kind of changed it up, but I loved how they had placed the church and the sentiment. So that's kind of where I started and then went with this. We're going to pull that out. We're going to be using a product that is retiring. We're going to be using the Stitched Shapes. I am definitely having some tears over this one because I love it. I will keep this forever and ever. I will probably never let go of these, but these are on the retirement list. So if you do not have these are well worth every penny. This is probably my #1 product on the retirement list. So if you don't have them, make sure you get them. Okay, so we are going to pull out our little projects here. And, oh, and these are another thing that are retiring. So I'm going to show you where these actually come from. These come from the Forever Gold Specialty Designer Series paper. And they have all these different, and sadly enough, I did not use these very much. And I don't know why, because they are actually really pretty. I love the designs. So I'm going to have to make a whole bunch of things coming up with these. So, but they have these little pockets, or these little, they're like little layouts. So you can use these as a background on your DSP. And an amazing thing with these is it's the gold, but you could also turn it over and use the white, or you could use any color by using your blending brushes and change the color of those. So this is really cool. The other part of this are these. So there's some floral images, and then you've got these little labels that have florals around it as well. So that's what we're actually using. And then I cut off pieces to put underneath our stitched circle there. Okay. I'm going to move some things out of the way because apparently I'm all a little bit discombobulated. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of paper. we are going to take all of our stamps out of our bucket. I've got one more hiding somewhere, the church. I need the church. I'm going to take Knight of Navy. I'm going to ink it up. Then I'm going to stamp it down. And I'm going to leave it there for just a few minutes to dry. I'm going to go ahead and take He Lives. And I'm going to stamp it up here, just like that. All right, I'm going to kind of set these aside for just a minute to dry. Close up my ink pad for now. We're going to take the other piece of basic white that's in the packet that I pulled out. We're going to take the Brick and Mortar 3D embossing folder. We're going to pull in our cut and emboss machine. Now, this is a new Stampin' Up! Embossing folder. So you want to use your platform. Then you're going to take your embossing folder, put your piece of paper in it. I'm going to flip it around. You see this line right here? I'm going to line it up with that so that I know my bricks will be straight. I'm going to set it in my machine with the folded part in first. You want to make sure that you always put, for your embossing folders, that folded part in first. Because when the pressure lands on your embossing folder, it's going to spread out and go to the opening. If you did it the other way around, you'll actually crack your embossing folder. Then you're going to take your gray plate, which is number 4, and you're just going to run it through. And it is a very smooth entry through. All right, so then we're going to set that aside. And now we have our brick border there. Now I'm going to take in this DSP. This is from the Hydrangea Hill Designer Series paper. This paper is gorgeous. All right, and we're going to take and put adhesive on the top. Let me get it straight on there. There we go. Then we're going to line it up at the top here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some linen thread. You know, my favorite thing we have in the catalog. And I'm excited because we're going to get some twine in the new catalog that will be of 5 colors. And I love the thin threads and twines. We're going to wrap this around 3 times, and then we're going to tie a bow. Okay. There we go. I'm going to adjust that over there so that it's laying flat. And squish all those together as well. Okay, then I'm going to take my paper snips and cut off the end. I'm just going to trim this one up just a touch. All right. So now I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to go back to the pieces that I stamped. I'm going to cut out my church here. So I'm going to actually just cut it off like that. I'm going to bring back in that Big Shot, not Big Shot, cut and emboss machine. We are past the Big Shot, are we not? I don't think I'll ever stop calling it that, probably. Okay, so now for this setup, we need the plate number 1, which is our platform plate. We need our piece number 2. Then we need 3, and don't look at how dirty it is. We're going to take in this stitched shape, and it's going to be the second to largest. I'm going to put that piece on there. We're going to line it up so that He Lives is in the top right-hand corner. Then we will run this through. Sorry for shaking the table. I know it does that. And there we have that piece. All right, now let me fussy cut out our church. All right, this is pretty simple. We're gonna cut up, we're gonna leave just a little tiny white border around the church. A lot of the lines on the church are straight, so that is really good. And those that are not, just cut right on around. I don't do very well with fussy cutting, so I do have to stop a lot. Okay, that's a little piece right there. That definitely is. All right, let me fix that up a good bit right there. Okay, all right, and then let's do our little steeple here. And then we're gonna go around the cross at the top. And we're really just gonna cut in a circle around that for now. We'll go back in and get that after we cut everything off. All right, so I don't like doing the little ones like this sometimes because I definitely know I will mess up around those little pieces like that. Okay, we're past all that crazy. I get nervous with the little pieces like that. Little intricate parts. Okay, I'm gonna come back up here and I'm really just gonna kind of go around the cross just a little. I'm not gonna be too picky about it. You won't really be able to tell because it's gonna be on the white piece. So, but I do wanna get it a little straighter there. Okay, let me throw my trash away. That wasn't too terribly bad. All right, we're gonna put 2 dimensionals on the back. And then we're going to adhere it to our piece here, right up underneath the "He Lives." Okay, now we're gonna take those 2 pieces I showed you a minute ago. We're gonna cut at a diagonal right here across that piece. I know that's probably giving you a glare, so let me just flip it over since this is the side we're gonna use anyway. And then we're just gonna cut it off here, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is take my adhesive, run it on that piece there and that piece there. Then I'm going to bring in my card base after I get that glue off. Goodness gracious, I got it everywhere. Oops, sorry. Okay. I'm gonna place this exactly where I want it to go. Then I'm gonna take my pieces here and kind of adjust where I know it's not gonna go off that card base, okay? Then we're gonna stick it up under the other piece over on this side. Just like that, okay? Then I'm gonna flip it over and press it down just to make sure that it's good. I'm gonna flip this over, put some dimensionals on the back. One more in the center. All right, and then I'm gonna put that right there, close to that twine, like that. All right, and now I'm gonna flip that over. Make sure that's not stuck. Look, I got the glue on the back. All right, we're gonna put a bunch of dimensionals on the back of this. Okay, take off the backings. And one more. For those of you who actually who watch me on a regular basis, you probably know all the words I'm gonna say whenever I start doing dimensionals. You don't want dead air. But I don't have anything else to say when I'm doing it. So that's what you get. Pretty much the same words every week, right? Okay, then we're just going to stick this right on top. Oh, I got it crooked. Before it goes down too strong, let's get that sucker off. Oop. Okay, let's try that again. I don't know how I got it crooked right there at the last second, but I did. Okay. There we go. Now we've got it straight. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to put a sentiment onto the inside. So we're going to bring in that Night of Navy again. We're going to stamp up wishing you the blessing of, and we're going to stamp it right there at the top. And then we're going to use the word Easter. And we're going to stamp that right underneath. Perfect. All right, so there is our first Easter card. He lives, and I love the church. I love the church in the blue. That's just gorgeous. Oh, no, we forgot these. Let's add some of the pastel pearls. I've got some strips here I can use. All right. One there. One there. It's hard to use these strips that I have cut. One there. One there. And then let's do one more up here. Okay, now we are officially done. And you could stamp the church on your envelope if you wanted, and we might actually go ahead and do that. So let me grab 2 envelopes, and we'll go ahead and do that since we've already got the church out. And look, my bow got messed up on that one. There we go. So I'm going to grab that church, make sure I have the envelopes the right way. Stamp it there, and then stamp it right there. All right, there we go. Let me get all of this out of the way, and we will move on to card number 2. Have lots of junk everywhere now already. Okay. So this one, again, is using that gift of hope. But we're also going to use one of the dies from Ride the Range. Okay. Now, originally, I'm going to actually share this with y'all first. When I saw Ride the Range, I saw this piece right here. And literally this piece reminded me of a tomb, the opening of a tomb. Well, when I did the card, I realized this was a little too big for a regular size card. If you're doing a slim line, this would be a perfect one to use. But since I'm not doing a slim line, we're just going to use the grass die. And we're going to use it for our rolling hills. So this is the card we're going to make. And I was super proud of this one. So I hope you enjoy it. We're going to use some retiring products again. So we're going to be using the classic label. And we're going to be using the layering oval dies. Sad to see these go as well. Not as sad as the stitched ones, but you know. And then we're going to use the pine wood planks, which is retiring as well. Okay, so we've got 3 products here that are retiring. And then, let's see, we're also going to be using the new oval punch as well, but we will get to that. All right, let's pull out our stuff. And I'm kind of moving things so that I have got room over here. we're going to pull in the big shot again, so I want to make sure I got room for that. Okay. I'm moving all kinds of stuff. There we go. Okay, so I've already done the embossing of this, and what I need to do is punch it twice with the classic label punch. And this is the pine wood plank, so it's literally just giving me the wood embossed part. So I'm just finding a couple pieces that I think will be good in that small area, and that's what we're going to build our cross with. Okay, so I'm going to put those aside for now. Now, in order to create our tomb, what I want to do is I want to take the soft suede. We are going to take the layering ovals. We're going to take the largest one here. I think this is actually the second largest one. I have somewhere along the way misplaced one. So I think this is the second largest. We're going to stick it right up about here. Okay, and then let me grab some of my Post-it tape. All right, so we're going to tape it down right about here. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more down here so that I know it's nice and straight. Then we're going to bring in our big shot. And I want to show you this because I want to show you the trick. And actually, you really don't have to. You can cut it out the whole way. But I'm going to show you how I did this. Okay? So you're going to line up your piece on your clear piece, on your clear cutting plate. And then you're going to take your top plate and you're going to stick it in. And you're going to put it so that you have about an inch, half an inch here. It's about a half an inch. Where the plate, your top plate is not covering. And then you're going to run it through. Okay? And what that's going to do is cut everything but that bottom part. Alright, so then we'll stick that there. I'm going to move that. Okay, we're going to take off this tape. And you can see it split it when it did the die. All right, there we go. Let me get this little piece off here. Maybe, there we go. All right, so now what you're left with is this piece right here. I'm going to pull in my scissors. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it back just like this. And I'm going to give it a good crease with my bone folder. Like that. And then I'm going to bring in my scissors and I'm going to cut straight across. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to do it probably a little awkward for all of y'all. Okay? So now you're left with your tomb part. Now what I need to do is attach a piece of black, basic black cardstock to the back, because when you're looking at the tomb from the outside, it's going to be dark, okay? Most caves are, so that's kind of where that came from. All right, so we're going to run our adhesive right along here. Let me get in the view. All right, let me put a little bit more here. All right, and then we're just going to place it over that. It doesn't have to be straight or perfect, okay? So now there's that. Now what we want to do is put this on it, so we don't want to get that adhesive stuck. So we're going to set it aside for a moment. We're going to bring back in our big shot. I know it's a lot of big shot stuff, but I wanted to show you that before I moved on. Okay. We're going to take a piece of soft suede again, and I actually need it, to run this way. We're going to take that little die for the grass, and we're going to have a little hill. Actually, I'm sorry, I need it to go this way. There we go. I need it to go long ways, not the short way. All right, we're gonna run that through. Then we need one more. Run that back through. I need to get a new plate. Okay, and then we're gonna do it so that this side is higher. All right, and then we need to do one piece for our crumb cake. Okay, so we're gonna stick it like this, and we're going to actually make this a little taller, like that. And then run this through. All right. Now that should be all of our big shot, or Stampin' cut and emboss machine. I will never learn. Never, never, never. Okay, we're gonna bring in all of our pieces. Okay. Now we want to layer it all up on this piece, but what I'm gonna do for now is I'm actually gonna take my silicone mat and I'm gonna lay it on there. So that the adhesive doesn't stick, okay? All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my crumb cake on here. And I'm actually gonna want my crumb cake to go above this outline right here, okay? So it's gonna go just like that. So I'm just gonna put adhesive all the way across. And we're gonna line it up right about there, okay? Then we're gonna take this piece here and we're going to line it up right there. And then this piece will go over on this side, okay? I'm gonna up that just a little bit, just a hair. Okay, and then one more piece. And this is gonna go flush on the bottom. Like that. Now what I'm gonna do is turn it over. I'm gonna take my scissors here. I'm just gonna cut all that off. I'm gonna come to the other side and cut the other little piece off. And I'm gonna make sure it's straight. Perfect. Okay, now what I wanna do is I'm gonna take the Early Espresso. I'm gonna take a little sponge. Gotta find it over here first, okay? I'm gonna squish it up, stick it in my ink, and I'm just gonna do this. This is just gonna give the paper some texture. You can do this beforehand, but I didn't want too much on all of these pieces. I wasn't really worried about that. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with my outline of this. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna give it a good amount of ink on the edges. Okay, we're gonna flip it and do it. And I think this just gives the paper a little bit of texture and allows it not to be so, I don't know, straight, I guess. I didn't do really that on the edge of here, and I really wish I had. So that's why I'm adding it now, okay? All right, now we're gonna take it and do it to this piece as well. Kind of just giving it a little bit of a dark edge. Okay, and then I'm going to take and put some of that onto the top of it, and that kind of lets it look a little bit more like rock, which is what it would have been. Okay, all right, now we're going to take this piece right here and we're going to put it up underneath like that. Okay, and actually I put that a little too low, didn't I? So maybe what we'll do is stick it up under here. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So we'll stick it up underneath there. But that's okay. You kind of adjust for every card's a little different. So, and that is totally fine. So we're going to pop it up and just that bottom part will be underneath that layer. Okay. Move that up just a touch. There we go. So it's still going to have a little bit of that dimension that I want. All right, so let's pull this and we're going to stick this up underneath, and this might actually work out really good because then I can move the cross down a little. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to take this cross piece, and what we're going to do is cut off the ends here. We're going to cut it off there, and then cut off that because we want that to be straight. Okay? Then we're going to take and put a mini glue dot on the back. And then we're going to attach it just like that. And you could, if you move it up higher, you could actually do all 3 crosses if you wanted that were there. Totally up to you. All right, and I think that should be good. Let's do one more in that center part. Okay, so now I'm going to take and tuck this up underneath there. Oop. My finger got stuck to the glue dot. See if I can get that straight. There we go. Okay. Now we're not done yet. We need to do our sentiment. So I have a piece of Very Vanilla. We're going to stamp the sentiment that says, "He is not here, for he has risen." And that is Matthew 28:6. And we are going to stamp that right there. Then we're going to take our punch, our oval punch, and we're going to punch that out. We're going to put it a little further to one side because we're going to put the bow there on the left-hand side. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is take my linen thread. Hold on, I gotta find it. Oh, it was right in front of my face. We're gonna do a double bow. Make it a little smaller. All right, and then we're gonna cut off those ends. Like that. All right, I'm going to close this up for just a second so I don't get anything on all this. All right, I'm going to stick that there. I'm going to take this stapler that I have, which is an old Stampin' Up! One. They don't sell this anymore, but you can find any stapler that you have in your house. And I'm just going to staple that right on there. Okay, then I'm going to take and pop it up. So I'm going to bring back in this piece. That looks a little crooked, but okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to bring back in this piece. I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on the back. I think I like the placement of the tomb better in the first one, but that's okay. I mean, I like this one too, but And then we're going to hang off just a little bit of that, like that. We're going to flip it over, put our dimensionals on there. Oop, I got stuck. All right, I'm going to put one there as well. Okay. That one is just sticking to my finger. It will not go away. Okay. Then we're going to bring in our crumb cake card base, fold it in half, use our bone folder, give it a good crease, take our layer, and then stick it right there in the center. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do is I want to put a piece of very vanilla cardstock into the center. Before I do that, I'm going to stamp The Greatest Gift of Easter Is, and we're going to stamp that in the black, not in black, Early Espresso. The greatest gift of Easter is hope, because Christ died on a cross for us. All right. This is definitely the most popular verse for Easter Sunday. He is not here, for he has risen, because he died on the cross and then rose again 3 days later for all of us who sin, which is everyone on this earth. All right, just trying to find my adhesive. All right, and then we're gonna put adhesive on the back and stick it right in. Perfect. All right, I like it. I definitely do, but I think I like this one first. This one best. I think I do want this part to be just a little higher, but I definitely like this one a little bit better, but that's okay. They all work, right? Okay, so that is our second card that we did. And this is our first card that we did. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if you have any questions, let me know. Description for the video has the links and everything in there for you as well. Don't forget about retirement. Also, if you want to get products from the new catalog that will be coming out, if you join my team, you can order those products in your starter kit, what is on the pre-order list. So if you're interested in that, let me know and I'll be happy to walk you through the signing up process. I hope you guys have a great Easter, and I will see you next time. Bye.